Hi everyone, this is Shauna the Tax Goddess, and today we have another live question. So Heather, concerned taxpayer, what's going on?
Yes, I need to know what are the penalties for not issuing 1099s. I had several employees this year, about 10 of them, and unfortunately my CPA didn't let me know in a timely manner that I was supposed to issue these 1099s. So here I am, July 15th, with no 1099s issued.
Oh no. Okay. Well, yes, let's get to penalties, but let's talk about it a little bit. So first things first, I'm so sorry to hear that your CPA didn't let you know. Often we hear this just kind of across the board that people only talk to their CPAs maybe once a year, or that information really doesn't come out. This is one of the goods and the bads. I'm going to count it both ways of Tax Goddess. We kind of over communicate, which means you might get 100 emails a year, but at least you should never miss a notice. You should never miss a deadline or anything like that. So first things first, maybe double check with your CPA. Maybe they have a mailing list. Maybe you weren't on it. Maybe just double check why. We at Tax Goddess never want to break up a happy home, but it sounds like you're not happy if you now have to pay penalties. So So let's talk about penalties. Now, first things first, you said employees. So I just want to make sure 1099s versus employees. So contractors versus employees. Employees normally get a W-2. Contractors get a 1099. So are these people W-2 employees or are they contractors?
No, they would technically be contractors. They just did work here and there on an as-needed basis, made their own schedule and whatnot. So.
Okay, perfect. And the second question then is, did you pay them more than $600? So each person, not in total, but each person, were they paid more than $600 for the year?
It could have been possible. Yes, the answer would be yes. I was thinking and calculating, maybe not every single one of them, but some of them definitely did get paid more than a total of $600 for the year, yeah.
Okay, so that'll actually help you here on these penalties. So just because we're not sure, right, we don't know that. Let's say you had 10 total, right? If only 4 of them got paid more than $600, you only need to worry about getting 1099s to 4 of them. So that's good. $600 is kind of the cutoff threshold.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you paid somebody $599, no 1099 is required. Okay, so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that'll help get you out of penalties, at least on, hopefully on some of them, get you out of some penalties. Okay, so then let's start looking. The next question here is, penalties are assessed generally in 2 different ways. Either the IRS catches you, or one of the people you were supposed to give a 1099 to goes and calls the IRS and say, hey, she never gave me my 1099. So there's another piece there. Now, of course, as a CPA, it's my job to tell you to do it properly, right? But there's another piece here where don't panic. It's not like the IRS is going to send a SWAT team and come get you in your house, right? Like you'll be okay here. So let me pull up really quickly the IRS penalties and let's go through it, and we'll use you as an example. Is that okay for our timelines here? Okay, dig it. So let me get that pulled up here. Okay, so Heather, are you seeing my screen?
I am, yes.
You are, dig it. Okay, so 1099s are due January 31st of the next year, right? So right now is, as you said, July 15th of 2022. So if it was for 2021 1099s, they would have been due by January 31st of 2022, Okay, so we're in the tax year. Now this gets confusing for people, okay? Because the tax year of the 1099s is actually 2021. Even though we're physically in 2022. Okay, perfect. So we're looking at the 2021 year right here. And so you can see for each 1099, so this is on each and every single 1099, what are the penalties? 30 days late, so we're past this, so it'd be $50 minimum through August 1st. So the good bit is today is July 15th. If you can get these done before August 1st, the penalties are $110 each, okay? If it's after August 1st or not filed, it's $280, right? So I'm glad we're talking about this today. This is perfect timing, right? We're gonna get you in that 110 penalty, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what is intentional disregard? Okay, because obviously this penalty is big, bad, nasty. I mean, that's each, right? So if you have 4 of these things, that's like a $2,100 penalty for 4 1099s, okay? Intentional disregard basically means that you were told, you were informed, you knew, okay, and you still decided not to do it.
Oh.
Yeah. So in this case, I think you have a pretty strong argument, right? Your CPA never called you, they never emailed you. Have you ever had to do these before?
No, this was 2021 was the first year, and the only way I kind of sort of knew about them was hearing and seeing some of your things here and there.
Well, I'm glad the tax goddess is bringing you value. That makes me very happy, Heather. So, okay, so I think you have a pretty strong argument of getting out of intentional disregard because you've never had to do this before. You didn't know the rules. Your CPA, you hired a professional to tell you these things for your business, and they didn't. Okay, so now I can't promise that, right? Please, everybody watching, take this with a grain of salt. Every IRS agent is going to determine their own set of facts and circumstances to determine which penalties they would apply, okay? But I think you've got a pretty strong argument. This was not intentional. You didn't mean not to do what you were supposed to do, right? So I think worst case, you're probably going to get hit with the 280, but definitely, Heather, get these puppies filed before August 1st. So you got a couple weeks. Okay, dig it. So thank you, Heather, so much for sharing your question, because I think this will be really valuable for a lot of other people, right? So 2 big points that I'm taking out of this, and then I'd love to hear what you've taken out of this. First one is, if your CPA is not communicating with you, either ask them for more communication or find a CPA that does. Right. And look at, the IRS's website. That page we were just on is actually the IRS's website. So as a business owner, the first year in your business, we kind of said, okay, this is not intentional disregard, but this next year, right? Like now you know, and you should have known better, right? Whether your CPA told you or not. So it's actually pretty important as a business owner to search out information. What am I supposed to be doing? And I understand that you tried to talk to your CPA, they didn't really tell you anything. So find another CPA. But anyway, so what did you take out of this, or do you have any other questions?
Yes. No, what I took out of this is over communication at times can be very beneficial, even though it can be overwhelming. As a business owner, I have to take the ownership and the responsibility to do some due diligence. I can't just go out there and run a business and wing it. Thankfully, with you as a CPA, for others, you kind of stay on top of that, but that doesn't exclude business owners from their responsibilities of making sure we give you information, making sure that I don't know, what if my CPA didn't know that I owned the business? Whose fault would that be then, right? Well, he should have known, he or she should have known for sure. But let's say I started a new business and didn't tell you. Well, how were you supposed to know that? So a lot of the responsibility does lie on the business owner as well. Just really thankful to hear that CPAs like you over communicate, remind, and do what's best for their clients. So definitely going to get that done by the 1st. And I really appreciate the information.
Our pleasure. Well, thank you so much, Heather, for submitting a question on our facts page. I think this is a great question for all the business owners out there. So guys, if you have a question and you'd like to join me live, or you just want me to talk about it without joining live, I get not everybody wants to be on camera. So thank you, Heather, so much for joining us.
Of course.
Thank you. Feel free to submit your question on the FAQ page. And of course, Tax Goddess, our specialty is reducing the tax burden for our clients. So if you're looking at something like that, you want a CPA that does communicate and you want your taxes reduced, feel free to reach out to our team at taxgoddess.com. And of course, we can book an appointment and see what kinds of things we can do to help you. So in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us here today, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.